I read a fun story about what unemployed people are trying to do to get jobs. Like, they're always trying to one-up other unemployed people. And
No, I love this story. I think the story's hilarious.
I think it's so cute because they come up with really interesting ways to stand out to employers. And so here are some of the things that they do. They hand out resumes at stoplights, which I think is kind of scary. But
I think it's kind of useless. I mean, really? I mean, so the homeless guy in this corner is like, oh, yeah, okay, you're hired. Okay, go get me a sandwich. No, don't do that. That's a waste of time. But I like some of the other ones.
Right. Washing cars in a company parking lot.
Oh, my dad would love that.
Right.
Okay, you have to do anything to get the job going. He would always tell me, go sweep the floor in front of the building. Mm-hmm. I said, Dad, I'm trying to get an on-air position. I don't think sweeping floors is going to help my case. When you sleep outside the building, do whatever it takes, right? So if you told him, hey, go wash the cars of the... He's like, oh, perfect. You wash their cars, they like you. Next thing you know, they put you on TV.
Right, but here's the one problem with that. They're always going to remember you as the schmuck who was washing cars.
Oh, that's the one problem with that? Of course! What are you talking about? It's a terrible idea.
Right.
You think if I went to MSNBC, I'm like, Mr. Griffin, I washed your car. It's great. You would never get the job.
You'll never be taken seriously.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys are entry level, and they're trying to bust their way in, and I respect that. They're trying hard. What else you got?
I love the next one. Staging a sit-in, a company lobby to demand a meeting with the director.
I've done that before.
Right. It reminded me of you.
Yeah. No, I've gone to radio stations and sat my ass on the couch and said, look, the program director's got to come out at some point. Okay.
Right.
So, and that's how I got one of my first jobs in Washington. Mm-hmm. And he was like, all right, you've been enough pain in the balls. I'll give you a weekend job. See how you are. I'm like, bingo. That's how it works.
That's awesome. Okay.
And that's how Larry King got started.
Right.
Back in the day in Miami.
They gave him like an overnight shift, right?
Yeah. When somebody was finally sick, he went there for I don't know how many days in a row, but it was an insane number, hundreds of days in a row, before they were finally like, all right, you schmuck, go on air.
I mean, I love it. I love these guys for doing these things, but this is all stuff you did in 1950. You can't do that anymore. You can't go into a high security building where there's people that think they're too important and sit there and wait for them to come out. You're going to get arrested now.
Yeah.
Larry King did that. We did that in 1947.
Now they'd be like, to the program director, I don't know, Mr. Smith, there's a man waiting outside for you. I mean, yeah, you're right. They can call security on your ass. But look, hey, I did it, and it wasn't 1947, it was 1997. So, maybe. What else?
No, the next one is genius, and I would totally 150% do it. Sending out a cake designed as a business card with the candidate's picture. Mm-hmm. How awesome is that?
No, it's great. It's initiative. I like initiative. Mm-hmm. I have a similar story. Once I was applying for a job on NBC, and we sent them a birthday present. It was wrapped like a birthday present, and inside was my CD, like the DVD of like all my times on TV and stuff. And our present to them was me.
That's cheesy, though. The cake is different because cakes are delicious.
Because cakes are delicious. I'm cheesy and you're delicious. I got it.
Yeah, you have to pinpoint this thing. I'm putting myself in the position when I think of these things. I try to put myself in the position of the executive or the hiring person. If I get a cake, I'm really not going to look at it. I'm not going to eat it either. So I'm like, does anybody want this? 'Cause I don't eat cake. So you just have to make sure you hit the right nerve. I understand it. I'm not trying to be an ass.
No, I think you are. Now, JR's being a hater here, but you got to understand, of course it's not going to work with everybody. Are you crazy? Yeah, you're going to get somebody like JR who's like, oh my, I take this cake and I smash it. Right? No, but, but 1 out of 3, 1 out of 10, it's going to work at some point.
Right.
You're going to hit the right person. And by the way, MSNBC had me fly out all the way to L.A. based on that and gave me a meeting back when I had nothing going on. Okay, not like I am now. Okay, anyway, and then that got me my first agent in LA. So it works. It works sometimes.
I love the cake idea. I would be elated if I got a cake business card.
Just calm down. You're gonna get like 20 cakes now. What's next?
Handing out personalized coffee cups. Cheesy.
Yeah,
I don't like handing out stuff like that. I think we've already talked about it.
Yeah.
I'm not into it. Okay. Going to the same barber as the company chairman to have a barber speak on his behalf.
Oh, really?
Which is kind of scary because that's stalkerish. How do you even know where the chairman gets his haircut?
I know. Can you imagine? I go to Supercuts and they're like, somebody was in here earlier. We have a recommendation. My lady at Supercuts. That would be funny, though. I mean, look, you're showing initiative in all of this.
Right.
I like the shoe one.
Oh, and then the very last one. I guess a guy sent in his resume attached to one shoe, and then he's like, I'm just trying to get my foot in the door. Wah, wah, wah.
I like that, though. Come on. How do you not hire that guy?
Just to fire his ass.
You'd hire him just to fire him? And then you beat him with his own shoe that he sent in? Get the hell out of
And
here.
you come back and say, sir, that was my best shoe. Can I get that back? I mean, I'm broke.
Well, he doesn't have a job. He needs you can't do that trick too many times. But anyway, no. I like it. I like the shoe idea. I like all these where they try a little bit hard. And if you want to get, if you want to work here on the Young Turks, our cars are in the parking lot, and they definitely need to be washed, especially mine.
Just don't try and come towards me. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, don't go to JR. That's a bad idea. Don't go to JR, and don't go to Wes Clark's house.
No, send us cake.
Okay, I don't know about
I'm
that.
more interested in the cake than the car wash.